Good evening, everybody. All right. Here is the great advantage of candlestick analysis. Being able to see the morning star signal that formed in the Dow in the oversold area on Friday had all the parameters where it closed more than halfway up this candle. This allows us as investors to see exactly when there might be a change of investor sentiment. So that's the whole point of candlestick analysis. If we see these reversal signals, we can make our decisions much faster than other people that are going to need confirmation, or not even confirmation of 1 day, but 3 days, 5 days of a trend breakout. We can be in way ahead of everybody else. So the same scenario was true for the NASDAQ. We had kind of a morning star signal set up on Friday with an additional piece of confirmation. When was the last time Dow came up to the 50 from below? Bill, I have no idea. Is this a trick question? This one was off the 50. This is way back when. So what is the point of the end of April? All right. I guess what is the point of the question? Remember, will it be resistance? Well, it doesn't look like the Dow closed. It looked like the Dow closed above the 50 today, but that is less less relevant on the basis that here's our buy signal, here's our gap up through the T line confirming the buy signal. So it doesn't matter what everything else is doing. Remember, this is the number one criteria. This is the confirmation of that number one criteria. A double confirmation. One, it's confirming the morning star signal, and two, it's telling us the T-line is not acting as resistance anymore. So it doesn't matter all the other elements that you might be looking at. Which is, are these resistance levels, or it doesn't really matter. This is the important element of using candlestick signals. This tells us everything else is going to be less important. The NASDAQ with a close above the T-line, aren't we assuming, because NASDAQ doesn't? Let's see. It can end up being a blue ice failure if it fails around here. It could, but now you're speculating on why this signal might go the other way. Instead of saying, all right, here's our buy signal that we see all the time, and it's confirming. Now we're saying, well, what if it doesn't confirm? Well, if it doesn't confirm, then we know that the uptrend isn't in progress. So I guess asking, are these questions based on disregarding what we're seeing, which is the exact information that we utilize when we're looking at candlestick signals. So I guess in a nutshell, we're saying if you follow candlestick analysis and you see a Morningstar signal or any candlestick buy signal in the oversold area, and it confirms by a double confirmation, meaning it's confirming the signal and it's confirming the fact that it's trading above the T-line, that maybe we should disregard it because it's not gone through other indicators that could be a resistance level. So, I don't know, is that? So let's put it more direct. You are right. Image looks more like April 27th. Let's make this smaller. I don't know what would happen in April. June, May, April. Oh, that was the March reversal. Yeah, so I guess I'm kind of baffled here because this is the reason we should be looking at candlestick analysis, not what it's doing or what other indicators might be telling us. We should be looking at what are the candlestick signals and patterns telling us. Is the market going up due to further government stimulus news? Have no idea. Doesn't matter. Is the market going up because there's prospects that Trump will win? Is the market going up because there's prospects that Biden will win? We don't have to know that information. All we're looking at is that the decisions made by buyers or sellers are telling us they're buying. We don't need to know the reason why. Okay, so let's go back to the basics. That's right. Let the market tell you what the market is doing. Which is the graphics of what is going on in everybody's decision. That's right. So here's the philosophy, or here's the reality, I guess. You see a Morningstar signal in the oversold area. If they're telling us because of the pre-market futures that they're starting, or that they're going to open this market positive, what's it tell us to do right away? Look for buys. Now, we recommended SGMS because you could see what pattern was setting up. Your J-hook pattern. Let me see if I can zip through the ones we own. Here was a Morningstar signal off the 34, closing right at the T-line. If you wanted to go back after Workhorse, if it opened positive, what was it telling us? A Morningstar signal, closing right at the T-line. If it opened positive, it was confirming the Morningstar signal and telling us the T-line was not acting as resistance anymore. And it was giving us a pattern that we could see, a classic pattern. Is the confirmation for a Morningstar the third day, or is that, it trades positive the next day? The confirmation, this is the pattern. This is the signal. Day 1, day 2, day 3, a 3-day pattern. Now the confirmation is if they open positive the next day, that's confirming the signal. Where would they negate this signal? If they close more than halfway down the candle that told us the bulls are taking control. DKNG, same scenario, fry pan bottom, strong price move. What's the one thing that we can see right here? They couldn't close below the T-line. If it opened positive today, what was our 2+2 analysis? If it opened positive, what type of signal would we have? A doji sandwich. What type of pattern would we have? A J-hook pattern. Confirming the classic pattern, a fry pan bottom followed by a J-hook pattern. So that puts us in that 2+2 analysis, meaning if we can see everything setting up tomorrow, if SRNE opens positive, what do we got going on? A bullish doji sandwich breaking out, giving us wave 1, wave 2, going into wave 3. So this is the reason that if we can identify the different patterns, because human nature works the same way time after time, it just puts us in the right positions at the right time. Kind of a J-hook scoop type pattern on Shill. Traded off near the end of the day. However, it's trading right now up here at 51, 51, and 15 or so. This one still has great prospects of a J-hook pattern. Blink was another strong chart. You can see how this is doing a J-hook pattern, Morningstar signal. And it closes, if this opens positive, there's your McMuffin. Morningstar signal followed by a doji sandwich, confirming your J-hook pattern. Just the more pieces of evidence that there's a bullish reversal, the higher the probability there is a bullish reversal. Our DTIL still working ever since the kicker type signal, scoop type pattern. You just stay long on this one. And Penn was another one that was setting up nicely. Look at your left-right combo, another kind of classic pattern, J-hook pattern setting up. It's, for your information, Shill merges and was on Thursday. All right, thank you, Magic. ANDE, kicker type signal, kind of a doji sandwich follow-up. You stay long on this one. And CLSK, there's a J-hook pattern setting up if this opens positive. There's your doji sandwich starting the next wave to the upside. And DQ, another one that's acting very well. Ever since the kicker type signal, the J-hook pattern, now you have a best friend gap up. First target likely back up to this range, and then possibly coming back up into this trajectory. All right, so some of the biggies were lollygagging most of the day, but near the end of the day, they started coming back up as investor sentiment was building up in the fact that the market wasn't backing off. So you watch, get rid of this one, you watch for a breakout Oh, pshaw. Breakout through this level. Notice where they bounced right off the 50-day moving average on Tesla. NVIDIA, well, what's happening here? You can see the slow curve. If this does a positive open, your doji sandwich, you can be buying pretty quick. And I say pretty quick, if you're thinking of buying, you got a lot better perspective of bullish sentiment based upon how things open and what type of signals it's setting up for us. So if I was trading NVIDIA and I saw it open positive tomorrow, I'd be buying immediately because I would know with stochastics coming up after some buy signals down here that doji sandwich is probably going to break me out through the 50. So whether you're trading stocks and mostly on some of these big price movers, trading the options, you know exactly when to come into these positions. Amazon, if it opens positive tomorrow, tells you the 50 is not acting as resistance after they start showing some good buying down here. And Apple, same scenario. If this opens positive, look at the added bullish confirmation today. They took this right down to the moving averages, the T-line, the 34, and the 50, and then took it back up. If they open this positive, what's it telling us? They weren't backing it off. They're heading up further from here. So lots of good, strong signals. Anytime we see a best friend signal, it tells you there's going to be a lot of strength. So we're seeing it in this one. Look at Urban Outfitters. Did a best friend gap up today off the 50, off the 200, through the T-line. What's that imply? There's going to be more upside. Wave 1, wave 2, going into wave 3. SRG. Little best friend signal gap up. If this opens positive, what's it tell us? That they're not resisting at the T-line. They're going back up into the trend trajectory. Axle. Best friend signal closed right here in the T-line area. If it opens positive, means they're still taking it positive. So the reason I point this out is because the probabilities become so much more enhanced of being in the right direction at the right time, confirming a strong signal, and the fact that everybody and their brother can see that it's supported at the 50. We can see that they not only supported, but they started buying with excessive strength, and that's exactly where we want to be buying positions, on a buy signal showing excessive strength. There's a Morningstar signal with a little gap up on Kraton. Wave 1, wave 2, look where they bounced, right off the 50, did a best friend type signal up through the T-line. Where's your upside potential? At least here, and then maybe the same magnitude as this move. So this is basically just identifying the signals that we know work consistently and finding the ones that have the strongest upside potential. Oh, I think the auto parts stocks all were up strong today. So there's your best friend off the 34, up through the T-line, just about ready to break out through this level. This opens, look for wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 up pretty strong. And you can see what happened from the gap up on Royal Caribbean, the best friend gap up. At least we can figure this is your first target and then see what it does from there. So obviously, with the market conditions the way they were today, up 400 and some odd points. Just makes it or identifies that there's going to be a lot of uptrending stocks in an uptrending market. What we want to do is find the ones that have the strongest potential to the upside. Etsy, this gap up, J-hook, bobble breakout, broke this downtrend, should have a lot more upside. Fly, we identified this one early in the day as a left or as a Morningstar signal gap up, scoop type pattern. That one you want to definitely keep an eye on positive trading tomorrow. And you've got some McMuffins setting up. Where are they? There it is. Look at your Morningstar signal, gap up doji. If it opens positive, there's your McMuffin and kind of your scoop pattern. I would think that has a good, strong slingshot effect to the upside. Now, I always get the emails or the Gmail saying, man, there's so many. How do we pick out the best ones? This is why I always kind of tell people, learn 3, 4, 5 very well. That way, you know exactly what to do. Now you're controlling your own investing and not shooting from the hip, even though shooting from the hip with candlestick signals is constantly putting the probabilities in your favor. But if you can learn 4 or 5 to where you become an expert at those, now you're going to be controlling your own investing and you are going to keep your emotions out of your trading. And especially using the T-line in confirming your signals. It just adds that much more probabilities of being in the right place at the right time. As a matter of fact, we will be doing a training that is very, I guess, very specific. It's a 2-day training on what we call the triple T training. The candlestick signals and patterns in conjunction with the T-line and how they work effectively in combination with each other. That's going to be on October 16th and 17th. That's one that you definitely want to attend because that kind of solidifies how to use the T-line. I used to make good money using candlestick signals. And I say good money. Before candlesticks came along, I was a constant contributor to the market. But when candlesticks came along, at least I could stop that process of contributing to somebody else's account every month to where I started putting money in my own pocket. But when the T-line was introduced, I used it, and it just dramatically improved not only my profitability, but my analytical ability to tell you when to get in to a situation. Does a scoop pattern ever come back to make a double bottom? Or is that's a broken pattern? Yes. If it comes back down to where it negates the signals that were telling you the bulls were taking control, means it didn't work. You close it out. So would you buy a situation like DFIN, or is it already? No, it's just starting. Where does a fry pan bottom break out? Right here. So if it breaks out, what's that mean? There's a lot more upside. This is what you're looking for. Not necessarily catching every one before it breaks out, but also knowing when it does break out, what your expectations should be. More upside. What was that? DHUD. So here's the ones that we know what the probabilities are. There's your fry pan bottom. What do we expect coming out of a fry pan bottom? A strong price move. After a strong price move and they pull back, what do we expect? A J-hook pattern. And what is the prerequisite for a J-hook pattern? A strong price move. That's why we call this the classic pattern, because we know what the results of a breakout should be on a fry pan bottom, this move, and then we know what this move represents, a J-hook pattern, which needs that strong price move. Will, hang on to your individual ones until I tell Jim to do the double line. All right, so some others that look good. Plantonic, because of that little doji gap up, if it breaks through, I don't know, I got that on there. Kind of a scoop type pattern. There's a gap right here to fill, and then there's your next likely targets. A lot of people were playing Peck the other day. When they break out big, I mean, this is where if you had gotten into this one, used your 10-minute chart, maybe you got out somewhere up here. But look where they brought it back to, right smack dab to the T-line. Now what's it telling you? They're buying again. So this is one that if you like to trade, use your 10-minute chart. Let's see what this looked like on the 10-minute chart today. That's the 5 minutes. So they brought it up, hold it back, then you can see pretty much for the rest of the day, they pretty much held right here at the T-line. And look, notice what you can see on this chart. You can see that little slow fry pan bottom. You can see kind of a little mini wedge, J-hook. You got the same patterns on your 10-minute chart as you do on your daily, 1 minute, or weekly chart. I know some people were watching LAC. Whoops, wrong chart. There's your Morningstar type signal, gap up. Should be back up into this trend channel. SPWR has a good chart. Doji, 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 bullish confirmation, breakout. That one you can be buying. First target is basically filling this gap. CLDX, left-right combo. Pretty much can see where it finally broke out of this range. Well, this mouse and I are not getting along tonight. This is kind of your big fry pan bottom breakout. So the reason I point these breakouts on the fry pan bottom is to illustrate that you want to buy the buy signals when you're in the oversold area. The breakouts usually occur when you're not anywhere near the oversold. A lot of times you're in the overbought area. So that's the difference. You buy a candlestick buy signal in the oversold area. You can buy a pattern breakout even though you're in the overbought condition. What did I just do? Nope. There's kind of a little kicker type signal. This also might fit into, remember we made good money on this because of this little signal right here. Made good money selling it out up here because of the doji and the overbought condition that far away from the T-line, followed by a bearish engulfing signal. Now it's coming right back again. Where's the next likely target? Back up into this area. DPHC. Same scenario. When they start gapping it up, doing a J-hook pattern, that means you're starting to see some very strong buying coming into that price move. Kendai. Bigger. Morningstar signal. You can still be buying this one on positive trading. Are you entering late if you missed the breakout? No, you're looking for the breakout. Which one were we looking at? That is the breakout. That is the alert to say this was a big price move. I may not have had this on my watch list at all. I didn't have this on my watch list at all. But it came up tonight when we did a simple scan for the biggest percent movers. So it broke out. And you could go back and say, hey, it broke out of a fry pan bottom. What do we know about a fry pan bottom? There's going to be a lot of upside after that. Or the probabilities are pretty strong. There's going to be a lot of upside after that. Scoop pattern setting up on IHRT. If this trades positive, you can be buying. You watch to see what happens here. If they break through that area, you're going to have a slingshot effect to the upside. Bloom, this looks less likely, but you can see kind of a big wedge formation. So you'd be watching to see if they can break out through this area. Meso, there's your gap up. Make this a little bit bigger. Another one you can go after on positive trading because it pretty much tells you they've broken out through that level. This one is more of a series of dojis. You can't call it a cradle pattern because it's not at the end of a downtrend. You can't call it a scoop pattern, but you can call it a series of dojis. After all this indecision, now you look for more upside. Yes, so this goes back to that question, Rigid, that what did I do here? That if there's so many good ones, which ones do we go after? Well, if you narrow down your expertise to maybe 4 or 5, like a best friend, a fry pan bottom breakout, J-hook pattern, kicker signal, now you don't have to worry about all the other good ones. You can pick out the ones that you are familiar with, know what exactly to do, and again, that takes the indecision out of your trading or having to depend on or worry about what everybody else is saying. You can just do exactly what the chart is telling you. So Cardiff, which was a big breakout the other day, now you got a little J-hook pattern. There could be more upside. Why is there more upside? Because investor sentiment came into this with great enthusiasm, consolidated, and now that great enthusiasm is still there. Would you call that a cradle pattern off the 50, John? I can't remember which one you were referring to. And Toll Brothers, still on a nice steady uptrend. Blue Apron. Bullish Doji Sandwich. I don't know which one it was. BE? No. Meso? No. I don't know which one it was. iHeart? That? CLDX. Oh, no. In this case, the 50 really doesn't, what was it? Would you call it a cradle pattern? No. I would call that a big fry pan bottom. ADPN. A cradle pattern off the 50. No. That's the T line. That's not even a cradle pattern, because remember, cradle pattern is the bottom of a downtrend. That's just kind of a series of dojis. Okay, so again, this is where you want to really make candlestick analysis work for you. When you see that buy signal in the oversold area, I get a lot of people saying, well, shoot, I'm always buying too late. It's already, I'm waiting for it to something to confirm. This is what gets you in right away. There's two advantages, obviously, getting into a position right away. One, if you get in the right position and you're buying immediately, it's going in the direction you want it to. Two, if you get in quick, anticipating it's going to move in the direction you expect it, and it doesn't, you get back out with a much smaller loss. The one right before Toll. Is that Cardiff? Oh, this one. Okay. Was this a cradle pattern? You could consider it that, yes, but probably less. Yes, you could. But more important would be the fact that they did this big move off a doji, off the T line. Then you could come back and say, yeah, it looks like a cradle pattern. Give you that much more credibility that this is a good buy situation. I'm glad we finally got that figured out. Somebody had a question on Western Digital. Nothing exciting there. So, all right. What we really are looking for now is the probabilities that if you have a buy signal and a close above the T line, the probabilities are that you're in an uptrend. And if that's the case, now you're looking more for the charts that have bullish prospects, like a classic pattern, or something where you can put additional analysis or additional analysis factors all in alignment. Meaning, we'll be buying SRNE on positive trading tomorrow for two reasons. One, if it opens positive, it's giving you a doji sandwich. Two, it's confirming your J-hook pattern. So just that much more probability that you're heading higher. No, that's really not a fry pan bottom. That's just kind of a rounding bottom. Remember, a fry pan bottom is something that's kind of sweeping. If you want to call it a fry pan bottom, yes, but it would be more of a factor that you've got kind of a bobble breakout, and it's not really anything that would tell you there's a big move or a big trend going on in this one. Alex, we did those. I'll run through them real quick. Apple, you want to be ready to buy this one on positive trading tomorrow because it's going to be doing a doji sandwich. right here off the 50. Amazon was up above the T-line. It's bobbing right here at the 50. So you want to definitely see this one get through that area. Microsoft has never been a real good trader for me. Just moves too slow, too lethargic, but same scenario. If this opens positive tomorrow, giving you a doji sandwich up through the 50. And another doji sandwich setup on BABA, more compelling because you did a bullish engulfing right here off the 50 and a gap up through the T-line, which kind of broke this downtrend. And Lulu, look at Lulu today. There just didn't seem to be very much there on Lulu. If you like it, you can stay long, but it wouldn't be one of the strongest stocks, the strongest charts. Oh, I forgot Goose. Yeah, we got some Goose. Nice J-hook pattern. Look at your bobble breakout. Look at your J-hook pattern with a bullish engulfing signal right here on the off the T-line. So I'd anticipate there's more upside. Bill added one more pattern, saucepan. All right. Tesla bounced right off the 50, opened on the 50, waffled, and came up, closed above the T-line. It's right here at this breakout. So if this opens positive tomorrow, you got a bullish doji sandwich. All right. We were supposed to be doing these after we told Jim to do the double line. So the first question is there any general questions on candlestick analysis? All right, don't see anything. So Jim, go ahead and do the double line. And then 3.8 seconds, do the next double line. Let's see, let's go down here. Where would you say the breakout level for a fry pan bottom on Snap? Well, you can easily see that. Where's the pattern basically start? You're pretty much there. So if this opens positive tomorrow, yeah, you're probably going to see a little bit extra strength. On Melly, what is the question? Hanging man. No. Where does a hanging man occur? When your stochastics are up in the overbought condition. That's just kind of a consolidation day at the 50. So remember, a signal is not a signal unless it's occurring in the right conditions of the market. Not any kind of pattern other than your bullish engulfing signal off the or closing right at the T-line, kind of a morning star signal, and gapping it up. It's not a pattern. It's just telling you the bulls have stepped in. And Zoom was kind of lethargic today. You're still in an uptrend. You stay long. You use the T-line as your stop. Okay, so where did we do the double line? Buy on, positive open on BX. BX. You can. It's just not a great chart. Look what look where what it's doing. It's basically sideways. It still needs to get through the 50-day moving average. So even though it's a positive bullish engulfing and gap up, it's still got a lot of stuff to get through. The 50, this downtrend, the 200, I'd probably be trading someplace else. And that's a Morningstar signal on AVID. You can be buying this one. An American, kind of a scoop pattern setup. You definitely need to see a lot more confirmation on this one. And TRVN, now what do you want to know on this one? Yeah. Today with it opening positive and trading lower, if you're long, you use the T-line as your stop. If you're buying, I'd wait for it to close or trade back up above today's open. This one's still in trouble. If you're short, you stay short. And CLVS, nothing great here. If I don't know whether you're long or short that one. We did Workhorse, we did Penn, we did Shill, and we did NVIDIA. DJ, where have you been? MDLA, why didn't that come up? You can get ready to buy this one with the anticipation it's coming back up to the 50. My gift is the humans in this chat. All right. Did we do Zoom? We did Zoom. Zoom, you stay long using the T-line as your stop. Kodak hasn't gotten started yet. Just trading flat. But it still looks like it's in this big fry pan bottom, which puts it in a position where any good news will pop it pretty strong again. INVH. Bullish Harami. Gap up, scoop type pattern. You stay long, just watch to see what it does at the 50. Ballard. Nothing there. Would not be long or short. That's sideways. Steve, that's the whole reason that you should be learning candlestick signals. The success of a Morningstar signal is pretty strong. That's why it is a major candlestick reversal signal. So yeah, that's why you want to learn the 12 major signals, because the likelihood of a successful reversal is extremely good because of the historic results of those signals. That's why we're looking at them in the first place. Square, you just stay long as you stay above the T-line. And SE, another one where you can stay long, look for it to break out through this level. Use the T-line as your stop. NS, what do we want to know on those? You know, we wanted to be asking questions of these because we don't know now. Stay long. Gaku. You can buy this one on positive trading. It's just not showing any exuberance just yet. Melly scoop, or is this a stretch? That's a stretch. Yeah, usually the handle is very, very convincing, very compelling. But it's still doing something where you can at least see what should be done if it opens positive. BBI or BIIB, nothing to get real excited about on this one. A sideways chart with no real strong buying. I think we did Snap. This one you stay short, but if I was short, I'd have my safety stop at today's high. It shouldn't come back up to that level. XLF, left-right combo, gap up. Yes, should be heading for the 50. Zillow. Just stay long. Use the T-line as your stop. I think we did INVH, right? Yes. Scoop type pattern. Twitter, J-hook pattern trying to set up. You can buy on positive trading and then use today's low as your stop. Hips on gaps. That's a long training session, or not a long training session. We can do a training session again on the gaps one night for the members area. In interest, just stay long. I wouldn't necessarily be a buyer. If you like it, you can buy it. It's just not the best place to be buying. Zoom got in today at 516. Should I have closed it out? Not yet. I probably wouldn't have been. Maybe I would have. I don't know. Yeah, it was trading positive. You stay long as it stays above the T line. And plug. If you're going long, you wait for it to break out through this upper resistance level. Cardiff. That one you can buy on positive trading. T-line is the yes, to keep long. Now, if it opened positive tomorrow and closed below today's open, that told you your J-hook pattern negated. Then you would close it out. You've got kind of a J-hook pattern. You just have to watch the top of that resistance level. Space was up very strong today. Look for a 45 degree to come off of there. ARWR, nothing. You're in a wedge. I'd be someplace else. CGIX. That one you can get ready to buy. Make sure your volume is good on that price drop. I'd rather see some strong confirmation on that, but you are right there on the 50 support level. UBS, that's a toughie. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you there. That's just bobbing around too much. I don't know what to tell you there. And Advanced Micro, this one you get ready to buy. You can see that it reported on the T-line today. If it opens positive, you got a doji sandwich coming off of this level. TVRN. Yep. TRVN. Did we do this one already? If you're long, stay long. Use the T-line as your stop. And silver, we can actually look at the F.SI. What's going on? SIAX. Silver trying to bounce back up. Nothing yet. NVAX backed off. This is one of those examples where this is why you want to see it open and trade positive. If it opens and immediately starts selling off, you wait for it to come back up through the open. In percentage, what is the probability, roughly speaking, of the success? Oh, I don't know the exact number, Steve. It's just that it's good enough or great enough, but that's why it is a major signal still being used after hundreds of years. The exact percentage, I couldn't give you that. Let's just say it's strong enough that you can use the information built into a Morningstar signal to tell you in the oversold area the probabilities are pretty strong that you're going to go the other way. And Uber, another one, if you're going after it, you can buy it on positive trading, Doji Sandwich. And SCPL, J-hook pattern in progress. Whoops, this closed lower. So if it opens lower and I was long, I'd probably close it out because it's telling me they aren't going in this direction. They're now probably stuck in a wedge. Advanced Micro you can buy on positive trading, a Doji Sandwich. PayPal. Another one you can buy on positive trading, a Doji Sandwich breakout. And Target. Nice fry pan bottom, and you're right there. You can buy this one on positive trading. No, probably not enough on here yet to, couldn't really tell you. You can be buying long because it's above the T line, but obviously not enough information yet. Magic, how could you miss my comments? This one you can buy on positive trading. You've already got a bullish Harami, a bullish engulfing, now a close above the T line. Next target should be the 50-day moving average. Bill, that's exactly right. 71.54 or thereabouts. Yeah, remember, the information that the Japanese rice traders have provided for us over the last 400 years is they've graphically identified patterns that tell you when there's been a change of investor sentiment. And if they didn't work, we wouldn't be looking at them today. Human nature works the same way time after time. So if you learn the 12 major signals, basically 6 longs and 6 shorts, that information is telling you the probabilities are extremely good that there's been a reversal. And we know where that reversal negates on each one of those. FVRR, all you can do here is stay long as you stay above the T line. And Reggie, another one that might be setting up for a J-hook pattern. If you happen to be long on this, continue to stay long. Use the T line as your stop. Tupperware is still trading off at a good fry pan bottom breakout. You could see where the resistance level, you could see when it was time to close out and possibly go short. I would think there's your first target, there's your second target. I carried a long put over the weekend. Tupperware opened and went up, so I got out. Later in the day and saw Tupper went down. So CB, If it opened positive, I would have waited to see if they were taking it up through the T-line. This is why the T-line is so important. Secondly, you weren't anywhere near the oversold area. Your stochastics are still heading down. That would have just told me, let's wait and see what happens. Oh, I put a star next to fly. I put a star next to CDX. And I put a star next to fine. And I will probably be buying aggressively on SRNE if it opens positive tomorrow. I think we did Western Digital. It's got a potential on. It's just not very exciting right now. So if it does trade positive, you still have to break out of this uptrending channel to get a good strong move out of it. And FLGT, you stay long. It's already used the T-line as support. If you're going to be a buyer, I would be a buyer if it comes back up through today's open and or especially if it came up through today's high. Was Tupperware a fry pan bottom into a 45 degree? Not so much a 45 degree. It's just when you came out of your fry pan bottom, you had your strong price move. Up here, we started taking profits because we could see there was a little bit of a resistance here in the overbought area. Anything we had left was closed out on that bearish engulfing day. Oops. Okay. WDC. Yes, it does have that prospect of a bullish doji sandwich. It's just not any real great trend movement right now. So it's probably heading in the right direction. It just wouldn't be what I would consider a very strong uptrend. XSD, semiconductors. You can buy this one on positive trading. And INO didn't execute today. It opened down here. I think somebody said whatever one of their tests was didn't work. So we were ready to buy if this opened positive today. This is why I get a lot of people saying, well, if this looks like it's going to be a good buy, then we buy on the close. And my answer always has been, I would rather give up a little bit of profitability, but dramatically improve my probabilities and be a little bit early and then find out that's happening. ALLO, a bobble breakout, especially if this opens positive tomorrow. Yes, you can go long on strength on this one. Okay, so Steve, going back to your question, what are the probabilities? If I see a Morningstar signal in the oversold area and I can see they're opening positive, just looking at the prospects, that the probabilities are extremely strong, we're heading back up. I think we did this one a couple of times. You can buy this one on positive trading doing a doji sandwich. Okay, everybody. Everybody have a good evening. We will see you. Oh, they're up a little bit. All right. So that kind of just today's trading in the indexes just added confidence. And again, we can see the confidence confirmation in the fact that they're staying above the T-line. All right. We'll see everybody bright and early in the chat rooms tomorrow. We'll see you then.